section. And for those of you following along at home, this is section 30.510, investigation and assessment overview. Section A, if the assessment and or further. Go ahead, Maria.
I have a question about this. I had a family contact me who had a adult child who was involved in an APS investigation, and that child was not in services. And I'm just wondering, how do you define an at-risk adult for someone that is not currently in services? Is that just done through an assessment by the investigator? Because we're talking about ruling someone out, and my question is, how do you determine that? It's not clear in here.
For those on the phone, this is Mindy. So the handout that I provided in the room, and we can also the definition earlier on in APS statute or rules defines at-risk adult. So that's the definition that we use for the APS program. So that would be the one that's applied here.
Right, but they don't have a specific, for example, Social Security Administration designation, right, of being a disabled person.
That's correct. It does not go by a specific disability.
So if a physician calls in a patient and says, I think he's IBD, does the doctor and the investigator determine that by looking and talking to the person? That to me doesn't seem like designating someone as an intellectual disability, because that's the at-risk category.
So are we talking about designating them as having a condition that qualifies as an IBD, or simply at risk?
Well, IBD, that's my world, so.
Right, but this is around the
right,
definition
but
of at-risk.
IBD is in the at-risk adult definition now. It's
Okay.
part of one of the categories that is covered.
No, not for APS. So this is Mindy again. There's some differences between the statutory definition for mandatory reporting and then the definition that we use for adult protective services.
So your interpretation is wider than the statute.
It's just different. This is
So how come that doesn't align with the statute?
the APS statute defines at-risk adult for the purposes of the APS program, and so that's what we.
And mandatory reporting defines it separately for their purposes.
This is PEG, mandatory reporting is a criminal statute.
Okay.
So it's
It's a completely different statute.
Okay, well, this mom was saying, I don't believe he's at risk, so I guess I'm just wondering, I see your definition here, but I'm just wondering how that's determined. It's basically whoever does the investigation determines it, is what you're saying.
So, at risk for us is whether or not this person has conditions that prevent them from being able to provide for their own health, safety, and welfare, or prevent them from obtaining the services necessary for their health, safety, and welfare, or someone who lacks the capacity to make and understand responsible decisions. So that's what we're looking for. So when we take a report, we are looking for that information in that report to help us determine whether or not we need to go out and investigate.
And then
So someone that,
excuse me, this is Mindy. So other parts of the APS rules that we're not covering today identify what needs to be included in when a report is made in terms of screening a report in.
Okay.
So that is further defined in the
Okay.